What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. That is Fat Man Zoom. And Fat Man Zoom, we have a special video for everybody today. What is it going to be about?
It is about Ark Invest, which people love. It's about Cathie Wood, which people are crazy about. And it is about SPACs, specifically IPOB. Really excited. So just to give you a heads up, IPOB is a SPAC that's open door. It's real estate, which we've been bullish on. We're bullish on Rocket. Zillow's done really well. So IPOB is another one of those. And this Thursday is a key date. So on December 17th, they're actually going to vote to formally move forward with the SPAC, which we plan on that getting approved and everything's going to be good with that. Right. And so we've seen the stock move, which we're going to check out the charts. But more importantly, Ark had initially had an investment in IPOB, and they recently increased that investment. So that's why it's kind of coming to the forefront. Yeah. And I wanted to get your thoughts on it, and we could talk a little bit about what that means for SPACs and specifically for IPOB.
Yeah, I mean, when you first brought this to my attention, I was kind of like, first of all, my first instinct on SPACs is kind of like to treat them as IPOs, and to a certain degree you should, I think. But there's definitely this allure to them that, you know, that there's actually good, legitimate companies moving into this. And some of the more recent ones that we've seen have done really, really well. So, and obviously there's ones that don't do so well. Nikola comes to mind, which we don't want to talk about that one, but there's ones to watch out for. And so we're starting to kind of dive a little bit deeper into these SPAC plays to try to help you guys decipher which ones are good and which ones royally suck. This one, IPOB, though, seems to be one that's like legitimately doing extremely well. And I do want to bring, when you brought this to my attention as far as the investment through Ark is concerned, I looked at their Ark W ETF that they have that actually had Zillow in it. And sure enough, we go and look at this. I'm just sharing my screen with you right now. And you look at this, and they actually divested from their Zillow position in order to add to their IPOB, which is social capital. $83 million worth of this that they have. So it is going to do extremely well. This open door SPAC play, which is the SPAC that's going to reverse merge into IPOB, is a competitor to Zillow. So if they are selling Zillow in order, or divesting from Zillow, not selling it all together, but in order to buy a competitor of theirs, I think that speaks volumes for Open Door and what could be to come for this company in general.
Yeah, and we've seen Ark do this. They've hedged their bets in specific sectors. The most popular one comes to mind is they're very bullish on Square, but they also have PayPal. And you can see that in Ark W. Also, Ark F, their financial one, they also added, they have Zillow's a pretty big holding, almost 5% in there, but they added 20 million in that for Open Door. So it goes to show you how they feel about it. The one thing that I will say about SPACs, so we don't trade IPOs, and we want to talk more about SPACs, and we'll get into further detail. But I'll tell you the biggest reasons why I like SPACs is because you can get the financials of a company going into it. So you're going to know what's happening. You're going to sort of, instead of one IPO day where it just explodes, it's a buildup, and it takes time to consummate that deal. So you can, for those that don't know how SPACs work, you have up to 2 years to actually find a partner and merge. And so it sort of allows people to trickle in. And then as you get closer to the SPAC merger, you're going to get more information that you won't get for an IPO. So you can get forward-looking financials. When you do a SPAC, you can't do that in an IPO.
Right.
And so that's why we always say on an IPO, wait for the first earnings, because you can get guidance, which I think is BS, but that's just the reality of the situation. And that's why SPACs are really the new and exciting thing for everybody. And as you can see with Ark as well.
Yeah, and there's definitely risks that are involved here, right? At least with an IPO, you're getting a nice prospectus. You get to see a lot of the financials before you make that investing decision. And we just went through this with Airbnb, where we went through their S1 filing and kind of went through it with a fine-tooth comb to try to figure out what is this going to look like over the next 10 years. And so there's definitely a little bit less transparency with SPAC plays until, you know, the cat's already out of the bag, and sometimes that might end up being too late. So I wanted to preface this by saying that, you know, getting into SPACs could yield some really incredible results from a return perspective, but it could also end in disaster. And we've seen that with a lot of other ones. Lots of times these companies have no money, so they get into being traded publicly so they can raise capital, but then they get into it and realize they need more money. So offerings are almost a given with a lot of these. So there's definitely some things that you really need to make sure that you're aware of before you're getting into it, and also just diving into the financials as soon as absolutely possible, because that's going to either make or break you as far as your position is concerned. So I want to make sure that you guys understand the nature of SPACs and all that good stuff and the risks that are involved. But to our point, especially with Ark Invest getting into a SPAC play, which is, we're talking $100 million that they have, over $100 million they have invested in just this IPOB. I think that just speaks volumes to me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look, so for the Ark F, it's at 24th largest holding. So it's about middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And it's the 23rd for Ark W, for a SPAC that hasn't even consummated yet.
Right.
That's a pretty substantial piece of the portfolio. And I imagine there's going to be more scale-ins as this thing gets closer and comes to fruition. So it's exciting. It's exciting to consider, and sneak peek, you might start hearing things about IPOC soon too.
Yeah, IPOC definitely something to keep on the radar as well. The dude that runs these SPACs specifically in the IPOAs, IPOBs, IPOCs, that super dude, he's going to continue to roll this all the way down. Just knows what he's doing with this kind of stuff. And obviously Ark Invest is also on board with this too. So it'll be interesting. We look at the chart here though. We can see that IPOB's obviously made a really strong move up over the last couple of days, and starting to settle back down today as of this recording. You're seeing this the next day, so we'll see what happens after that. For me, I'm looking at this potential area of around 2680 to actually get into this. I'm going to look to buy into IPOB. I think that we're going to see some really good moves, and it all comes down to the vote that they have taking place. And Fat Man Zoom, you have some more info on that as well, right?
Yeah. So, it's really just December 17th, Thursday. They're just going to have a vote on whether they're going to approve moving forward with it. So worst case scenario is it doesn't get approved by the current shareholders, and then they look for another company. But this is so far along, it's a formality right now. So December 17th, that's the date. I don't know if it's a sort of buy the rumor, sell the news type situation.
Yeah.
I think that there's still room to run for this. I believe there's going to be still room to run for this, because I believe that's almost like the IPO style. So maybe a brief dip on Friday, but I see moving forward after that into next year doing really well.
Absolutely. I think this is definitely going to be one that's worth the own, guys. And that's going to do it for our IPOB. We just wanted to cover this because we knew that Cathie Wood's in it. We know a lot of people were asking about it. And this is actually something that we're both actively considering investing in ourselves. So we wanted to make you guys aware of that. If you are not part of the Chaos crew, make sure you're hitting that join button down below, or the link is in the description as well. We have over 1,000 folks within our Chaos crew that get daily watch lists, private live streams, access to our public portfolios, all that good stuff. We're also giving away one free share of Tesla this coming Sunday for our Stock Watch Sunday live stream. So you don't want to miss any parts of that. If you want to join the crew, make sure you're hitting that join button, or the link in the description. We'd love to have you guys over there. Also, if you got value out of today's video, please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the thumbs up if you guys like this sort of thing and you want to see more of it. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell too. Fat Man Zoom, anything else from you?
If you guys want to see what the watch list is about that we send out every day, you can actually we send it out publicly every Monday. So you can go to stockwatchsunday.com and request to get added to the watch list. Other than that, Thursday at 2 p.m. is our next live stream.
That's going to do it for us, guys. Again, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up, and we will see you next time.